right? But there's a huge play on how to get tenants and a lot less of an effort on how to keep tenants. And that was a problem that I had, as an investor, and I own, as I mentioned, a few apartments. So when I realized that it was not what I call static amenities, that's the stuff that gets people there, the fancy pool, the rock wall, the bowling alley, whatever it is, to introduce this idea of dynamic amenities. And as I said, the market knows this. There's a budget already allocated for this, but it's put on the shoulders of people who are often real estate agents or something to that effect. They understand attracting people. They understand getting leased up. They understand all of that, but they don't really know or probably care to know what's a fun, interesting thing to do in December, where somebody like Terrell comes up with the idea of a cookie decorating event with spiked hot cocoa.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Kesil. And today I'm joined by someone I'm looking forward to chatting with, Terrell Manning and Brian Orr, who are creating client experiences and micro events for luxury high rises. So excited to have you guys here today.
Hey, Michelle.
Thanks
happy
for
to
having
be here.
us.
Awesome. Yeah, I think our listeners are going to take something away from how you're approaching resident retention. So let's dive in. First off, for those not familiar with you and your world, can you share what your main focus is?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
So,
Go ahead, Terrell.
our main focus is resident retention and resident occupancy within the apartment space. So I'm a chef and caterer by trade. Brian is more so of an investor, and so we put our two minds together and saw an opportunity for us to be able to create something epic. And that is simply by hosting, one-of-a-kind events in luxury apartments. Most luxury apartments have a budget for doing events, but typically it falls upon the property manager and the property manager's staff to host these events. And they're not event planners, but we are, and we could do it very well. And so we saw a way of it being mutually beneficial for the property owner, the property manager, and of course for us already being in the space to host, these wildly crazy events that are also successful, and they drive retention and they maintain occupancy.
Awesome. Are you guys doing this nationwide or in certain markets?
So right now we're just in Florida. We handle a few cities in Florida, primarily Tampa, St. Pete, which is one of the most booming markets in the entire country right now. And we'll expand as we get there, but for now we're focused on the Tampa, St. Pete market.
Cool. So yeah, what brought on the idea of creating this?
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
So for quickly, my backstory: I've been an investor for over a decade in real estate and small businesses for way more than that. And a parallel world of mine, I was a DJ. I was an internationally touring DJ for many, many, many years. So um, event planning, experiential marketing, all of this is my world. Since then, I've become a business coach, business consultant, and Terrell actually came to me as a client. He has a personal brand, a huge brand as a chef, published author, at TV appearances, and all of this. So as our evolution from coach and client evolved, we kind of put our heads together and found this opportunity where we mentioned, where can we serve people aside from just the standard catering? And that's how the apartment vertical came to play, because I know apartments very well. I understand the challenges that owners have and investors have in, keeping their tenants happy. Of course, increasing retention, keeping occupancy low. And I said that there's a gap here. There's something missing, and maybe we can take what you're doing in the event planning and experience creation and applying that in the apartment vertical and solve a lot of problems for property owners and investors.
Can you expand on what type of problems it solves?
Sure. So it, like Terrell mentioned earlier, oftentimes, especially in these luxury high rises, your property managers will get some sort of budget, whatever it is, and it's titled different things from different companies. And let's call it a $20,000 annual budget. So they're sitting there and they have to allocate, how much per month, more for the holidays, less for slow seasons, and so on. And the idea is that this is not a new idea from apartment owners, that we want to keep our tenants here, right? But there's a huge play on how to get tenants and a lot less of an effort on how to keep tenants. And that was a problem that I had, as an investor, and I own, as I mentioned, a few apartments. So when I realized that it was not what I call static amenities, that's the stuff that gets people there, the fancy pool, the rock wall, the bowling alley, whatever it is, to introduce this idea of dynamic amenities. And as I said, the market knows this. There's a budget already allocated for this, but it's put on the shoulders of people who are often real estate agents or something to that effect. They understand attracting people. They understand getting leased up. They understand all of that, but they don't really know, or probably care to know, what's a fun, interesting thing to do in December, where somebody like Terrell comes up with the idea of a cookie decorating event with spiked hot cocoa. And all of a sudden it's like, wow, that's really cool. We realize that now our property cares about us, our managers care about us, the owner cares about us. We want to stick around here. And not only that, Michelle, it's the free marketing, more or less, because the tenants that in the buildings that we've been working with, never ending social media. They're posting on social media. They're bringing people to the building. They're loving the building. They have new tenants coming in, and they're staying. I mean, I think it solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, to kind of just piggyback on that. I mean, when we've been at some of these events, and Brian, you can attest to this, we have some of the residents saying that, we're going to stay here for an additional 2 or 3 years just because our community is hosting events like this. And one of the last events that we did, one of the residents came up to me and said, "It's so cool that I get a chance to meet everybody from my community." So I'm from out of country. He's like, so I'm not from here. I don't know anybody here. He said, but bringing everybody together for unique events like this allows me to make friends, meet new people, and then, in turn, build a community. And then now they feel, compelled to stay there.
Absolutely. Michelle, you probably know better than this, potentially, the data, but what does it cost to turn a unit? How many units are you turning, every year? And what is the benefit of not having to turn those units, right? And keeping the retention? It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Sounds like a fun way to do that.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
So, what do you guys feel from the events that you've curated has been like the aspect that has made the biggest difference in the residences?
I think it's the community, right, Terrell,
Um,
like you're describing? Like it's the residents themselves. So yes, we're alleviating the pain of the property manager. We're alleviating some of the stress of them having to become event planners and manage events and ideate events, right? What should we do? Even sourcing. So we had a yoga event. We bring the yoga instructor in. We bring the DJ in. We bring the staff in. We bring all that stuff in. So they don't have to do any of that. But the value is in the resident experience. It's how it's titled in our category, actually, resident experiences, because the community element. Terrell spoke very specific to that. People come from out of town. They don't know anybody. We have testimonial after testimonial about, wow, I didn't know anyone in my building until this. Now I feel so much more at home. I feel this element of community. I want to stick around. I love it here. What do you think, T?
yeah, no, I agree. I think the residents definitely make the apartment community. Um, and you can create, even if you're not a luxury per se apartment, you can create a luxury experience by having these types of events. And when you have a community like this, it breeds retention. And so, from a property manager standpoint, if I was a property manager, I know that I would love to have, this concept or this idea on how I can, keep all of my apartments occupied, and I can keep residents in my apartments for 5, 10, 15 years.
Michelle, we had a prospect the other day that we went and did our call with them, and they said, you know what? This is the perfect timing. We need you. We need you right now." And we're like, "Why is that?" I'm like, "Well, building X, we're not going to say the names, but building X is leasing up like crazy, and that's one of our primary clients is building X. So the neighbors, the neighboring apartments are feeling the
Mhm.
impact that they're like, we can't get people in to our the way we're normally attracting clients, tenants, because they're moving in over here, and that's where we are. So it's not only that the buildings are feeling it, the neighbors, your competitors to some extent are feeling it, right? The value is there for sure.
Yeah, awesome. That's super cool. What are you guys most focused on scaling when it comes to this aspect of the business?
Go ahead, Ron.
You want me to take that? Okay. So as far
Yeah.
as the growth of this business is going to go, we're going to take over the Tampa and St. Pete market, that because that's where we are. That's going to be our primary driver. Once we establish that here, we do have reach out into Orlando and a little further south if you guys aren't familiar with Florida. But Terrell is a cooks is a phenomenal chef and has other catering type experiences besides just this vertical. And he's spread far and wide across Florida. So we're going to be attacking new markets around Florida. And then the big picture growth plan is to license out or at least or create some educational component for how we did this step by step blueprint for other people in other cities to be able to kind of take the blueprint and run with it. We're not going to be able to franchise or license or anything like that, but just the platform of here's exactly what we did, here's exactly what we said, here's what worked, here's what didn't, and then we'll be able to hopefully share that with people in other cities.
Yeah, amazing. That sounds like an exciting thing to share with others.
Yeah, for sure.
So, what are the typical events looking like?
Um,
Anything but
you know,
typical, right, Terrell?
Yeah, I think that's the beauty of our business is that it doesn't have to be typical. One week we're doing tacos and tequila by the pool with a DJ, and then the next week we're doing Friendsgiving, and then the following week we're doing a Santa brunch. So I think that's the fun. The fun part of our business is that we don't have to be mundane. We can have these seasonal type of events, and for the residents, they don't have to feel like something was just thrown together, even though the property manager didn't do anything except for hand us a check and say, take care of my residents. Um, the resident feels like the property truly cares about them, and we get to do all the hard work. The property manager gets to have a glass of champagne and go home.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
And with Chef being on board here, we do have like premium experiences where he does like cooking classes or wine tasting, I'm not familiar with all of that stuff. I'll let him speak on that, but like wine tastings and all of these things. And we're introducing other fun ideas too. I don't know if I mentioned it earlier, but like, an acoustic um artist with, like a whiskey tasting sort of thing, bringing all of that stuff into your apartment complex. So many fun and unique ideas that most of those come out of his brain. That's not my world.
Yeah, amazing. Sounds like some fun and exciting experiences you guys curate.
Yeah, for sure.
So, is your target audience typically the property manager, or who are you connecting with to create this?
So
I
we've
mean,
been most directly.
ideally,
Sorry, T. Go ahead.
I'll get. Um, ideally, it is property owners. Who have multiple properties. Secondarily, and typically our front door entrance is through the property manager, and we're able to build a relationship with the property manager. Show ourselves trustworthy and build a relationship from there. But ideally, our main connection would be with the property owners and the management group, because from there we're not talking to just one property manager. From there, we're talking to 5, 10, 15 different properties at once. And, we're growing throughout the Bay Area a lot faster than we are just with one property.
Yeah, and we hit it kind of grassroots, Michelle. Our first sales calls were literally that. We went door to door, pounded the pavement, street marketing, walked in. Hey guys, what are you guys doing for your events? How much trouble is it for you? What if there was a solution to that? And of course, we often bring a special dish from Chef Terrell, as a complimentary lunch to the property managers, and we're working up through in that direction, right? So we start on the ground. The people who are making the quick and easy decisions, we break through the door. In effect, put on our first event or second event, and we very quickly been growing through word of mouth. But Terrell is right. The idea is to get entry through the property manager and then up to the ownership group or management company or whoever's kind of running the multiple properties and determining the budgets.
Awesome. Yeah, that makes sense. Has there been any like obstacle in this creation?
What
Yeah,
was that
there's
one,
some
Brian?
obstacle T. Um, so of course it's hard for people in any category, in any type of sales element to say, yeah, we're going to trust you. And yeah, we're going to trust you with our budget. Yeah, we're going to trust you with food, with feeding our residents. I mean, anytime food's involved, there's potential that 50 residents end up with food poisoning, not working with us, but there's potential, right? So yeah, there's a huge trust issue that you have to break down the door. So that's always an obstacle. And I don't imagine that will ever stop. And what we're trying to do is figure out ways to kind of circumvent that obstacle and be able to secure trust a little bit easier and smoother. And building the trust relationships, I think, is what conquers all. Now, that's me from the sales side of things. But Terrell, you tell me about some obstacles.
I mean, I think with any startup, right, there's gonna be, some hiccups and some challenges. I mean, even with businesses, that have been, at it for 35 years, they still run into obstacles and challenges. So we're not different in that regard. But I think what we're looking for is we're looking for early adopters. And so in building up those early adopters and getting in some more of those people, um, we're gonna develop some fans, and those fans um, and people who love our work, who love our food and drinks and the experiences that we bring to these communities. They're going to start to tell the masses, and so we have a mentality of we're going to be able to build this from within. But it starts with us going out, talking to 100, 200, 500 different property managers, property owners, and finding those early adopters for our concept. We're very niche in what we do. If you look up resident event companies, you probably won't find many except for us. So, we're very niche in this aspect, and not there's not a lot of people doing what we're doing right now. Um, and so I think because of that, it might take property managers or property owners a while to understand exactly everything that we're doing. When we come in, we say that, hey, we can take over your entire budget, and all you have to do is just sit down on the couch and watch TV. That doesn't always resonate,
Mhm.
because in their mind, it's never been done before. So they have to fathom this idea. It takes a lot of work on Brian and myself on our parts to really build that dream and tell them about what life could look like as a property owner when you have 98% occupancy and
No
100%
promises.
retention
No
rates.
promises,
you
Terrell.
know no promises. No promises, but you're much more likely to have those numbers with our events than you are without.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
amazing. Thank you for sharing all of that. So before we wrap up here, someone wants to reach out, connect, learn more. Where can people find you?
The company is called Bridge and Tide, and our website is bridgeandtide.com, and our social media, I guess Instagram's our primary handle, right? It's at Bridge and Tide.
Yep.
And yeah,
At
we'd
Bridge and
love to
Tide.
speak to more property owners and investors to help them grow their businesses in whatever way. Like I said, I speak the language. I am one myself. And even if you're not in Tampa or St. Pete, and we could be of some assistance helping, ideate event experiences and things like that, please feel free to reach out. And then Terrell, you want to do your, and my personal social is at the Brian Orr.
Yep, mine is at Chef Terrell Manning. It's my personal page, and all of the other communications could be on the website at bridgeandtide.com or Instagram at bridgeandtide. Brian, while we're talking about that, you wanna explain the name of the company,
Sure, I'll
how we
say it
came up
quick.
with it?
Yeah, I'll tell you quick. So,
Yeah.
as I mentioned, my experiences in branding and strategy and marketing and all of that. Our kitchen's in Pinellas County, and if you're familiar with St. Petersburg or Pinellas County, it's on a peninsula. And the idea is kind of threefold. So on one side is the bridge to Tampa, and on the other side is the ocean. So that's bridge and tide. Tide is about flow, bridge is about connection. So I like those words together. And the real subtle thing is bridge is Brian and tide is Terrell. So we have B and T there as well. So it's kind of three levels. So if anybody wants to seek out branding advice, please feel free to give me a call too. I'm assuming you like those ideas, but yeah, there's a lot of levels to what we're doing here. We're trying to set this up. We're running for the long haul here. This is a great idea. It's a great experience. We're having great success. Our properties are having great success. So we're real excited for you, Michelle, and any of your listeners to please feel free to reach out.
Awesome. Thank you guys for sharing, and thank you for your time today.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.